Welcome to episode 8 of the New Knowledge Podcast.
Episode 8.
The consistent pair are back.
Third time we did that.
Putting in work.
Yes,
Putting
sir.
in work.
Yes, sir.
So this episode, we're going to the current events. It's been a long week.
It's been a long week.
I mean, the debate.
Lakers.
You know what I'm saying? Bad karma for some particular individuals.
Yes, you know how it is.
If you can see,
The
big 1-8.
October 1st, 2002. I was born.
October's very own.
October 1st, 2020. I'm legal. You know how it is.
So we're just gonna go into that and then see where the conversation takes us.
Facts.
I mean, hey, you know what it is.
Hey, we are the voices of tomorrow.
The words you didn't heard.
LA's finest.
My name is Christoph.
My name is Amiri, and you are listening to
The New Knowledge Podcast.
Yes, sir.
So we back.
We back.
In the flesh. Long week.
No cap long.
Long week. But, I mean, I'd be remiss. We gotta wish our co-founder, co-partner, a very happy birthday. How'd you feel? What you do? What you do for the birthday, man?
I went to school. Grown man shit.
Grown man.
No, I went to school. I had a fun time. Sorry, this balloon was distracting. I went to school. Woke up 6 o'clock. Went to my 6:25 class.
East Coast class.
East Coast class.
I feel bad. Any of you guys on here with the East Coast classes?
Yeah.
You are in my prayers.
Yeah, I went. And then I had my favorite history of the African diaspora class. So like they wished me a happy birthday when they saw the balloons and stuff. So that was dope. And then I had English. And then I had to go get my retainers fixed, so I missed Spanish. And then, that was basically my day. Then at night, I went to go eat, and that was fun.
Yeah, quarantine birthday.
I got some nice little presents. Somebody dropped off some stuff. It was like some some good stuff that I got. It was some good stuff I got for my birthday. No cap, Shout out to everybody who gave me birthday wishes and everything. It was very loving. Yeah. It's always fun, This is a big one.
Always fun making it to another year.
Yeah,
always fun making it to another year.
This is a big one, so it felt really good. So
that's the thing. It's like you finally make it there, and it's like I feel exactly.
Yeah, I feel like the same, bro. I feel like
I've
always been this age. I feel like I'm older. You know what I'm saying? But it's still good to legally be.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Certified to do the things.
Get your lotto ticket. Get your
So now I gotta sneak around as much.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Let's go into the current events right now. So
first and foremost,
this boy Trump, man. I know he's gonna talk about Lakers first, but Trump. So first, we're gonna go first. We're gonna go with the debate.
We can go to. I mean, if you want to call it that.
I mean, it wasn't a debate. It was more like a.
I mean, it was.
It was like I don't even know. It was like one of those fifth grade arguments.
I feel like I was like 5 years older after watching that. Like it was just like, this is it.
Now, these are grown men.
These are the last
age-setting people.
Like these are the last two people. Like this the best that America could come up with.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's like really, really sad.
Yeah, like you're watching and I could just imagine like other countries, they could tune into the debate.
Yeah, with popcorn.
I'm sure they're just like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah, they're like,
what is this? Like, this is supposed to be like the best country in the world. Like,
yeah, there are so many. Well, I don't think Biden. Well, Biden did take a couple not cheap shots. He took a couple of shots. Trump had a lot of cheap shots.
I mean, it was like, I get the energy, like you're trying to come in with a whole bunch of energy, and I think. For like all of the right wing media and stuff, I mean, they were talking about Biden like he can't even breathe on his own. Yeah. So him coming in and literally just having a pulse surpassed any of their expectations, or it blows past anything. I mean, I think both of them did not have a great night.
Yeah, they didn't have a great night at all.
I mean, I think Biden
was bullied, so everything he said was in defense of what Trump said. And I think Trump was simply trying to be the aggressor. He didn't respect time. He didn't respect.
Yeah, I mean, it was like why even have a moderator at that point? Like
moderator was laughing, bro.
Yeah, it was just getting like obnoxious. Yeah. Like now, I mean, I get you're trying to like act like the tough guy and all that type of stuff, but when you're like interrupting every single, like it wasn't even like every other thing, or like it's every single thing you're like putting in your 2 cents, and it's like,
bro, it's not your
like
turn,
we can't even,
bro.
you can't even debate. Like it's not even a conversation at that point.
Yeah, like when Biden told him to shut up.
Oh,
like
when he called him a clown,
yeah.
I was like,
I'm like, dang, bro. I mean, he's not wrong though. It's like somebody had to do it.
But I mean, he just really he represented like how everybody was feeling. Like, would you just shut up, man?
Yeah, like that's exactly how he said that too.
He's like, would you just shut up, man? Like, but it's, I mean, it's sad. At the end of the day, those are the last two. Like, in terms of in America, we're like, you know, trying to get to this like more diverse, more welcoming place and move forward and stuff. And like, I mean, especially in like the Democratic Party. Like, it's supposed to be, like, the party of inclusion, the party of, like, new faith. I mean, like, you just had Obama in there. So you're thinking, like, okay, like, we just got a first black president. Like, what's next? And then it's like, you get to this debate, and you're looking, and it's just 2 old white guys again. As it has been for, like, every, like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, like, we're supposed to be in this place where, like, we're moving forward, and we're getting places, but, like, you get down to it, and you're watching this debate, and it's like, not much has changed.
Not much has changed, and it's like for 2 grown men arguing like children. And then I think that, you know, both sides were weird. You know, Biden really, he couldn't get. I feel like the reason he couldn't get his point off was because he knew that he was going to get interrupted. And when he was speaking like freely, it wasn't about nothing. You know
it seemed like it was too rehearsed. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I feel like for him, you know, a whole bunch, you know, everybody's talking about how he, you know, losing a step, onset dementia, you know, all sorts. He's senile, all that type of stuff. So I feel like when you're like put in that corner where it's like you like can't even stutter, and I think he has a stutter, but it's like you can't even get to that point. So then, whenever he finally got like a sliver of time to speak, I like the whole thing where he's like talking to the camera and like, I mean, it was better than Trump, sure, but it was like. It seemed like it was too rehearsed, and it wasn't like
I feel like
super sincere all the time. Sometimes it was sincere, like when he was talking about like the one part he was saying like, how many of you guys look over to like an empty chair because you lost somebody to COVID? I was like, dang, like, and that's the one thing about Biden. He's more like compassionate about stuff. Yeah. So like that sort of stuff was sincere, but like some of the other stuff, it was just hard to watch. Like,
I caught the beginning of it. I was catching like the live clips, and I was like, let me just tune in. Yeah. And when I came in, it was like the moderator was laughing, and I'm like,
yeah, you knew it.
Yeah, I was like, bro,
they're going down the drain.
Yeah, and it was the crackhead son. He wasn't even talking about the son.
Yeah, that part, that kind of
like, if anybody defends that or said like
it's just a low blow.
It's a low blow, but it's like that's not even who he was talking about, bro. Yeah. Like, you meant like that's super foul. That's like you have a family member who struggled openly and stuff like that, and you also have another family member who has succeeded in many great ways, right? And that person with success is proving another point of yours, right? Mm-hmm. So you use that family member, but everybody invalidates it because you have another family member who did something terrible.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it's like what. That somehow is on Biden, or like, you know what I'm saying? That's somehow supposed to like affect Biden. His choices somehow is supposed to affect. The point Biden was trying to make. Like, it was just like such a low freaking blow, bro.
I just didn't respect that because I mean, like, you know, his son Bo that passed away. So like, usually just human decency. Yeah. Like, my son Bo that passed away. It's like my. God forbid or I'll just say like my older brother. I don't have an older brother. Yeah. But my older brother who passed or passed a couple years ago. Yeah. And you say right back to me, oh, sorry for your loss. Yeah. Or my older brother that was in the military because his son was in the military. Oh, comes right back. thank him for his service.
Yeah.
It's like those are things that come right back.
Yeah.
And for you to just disregard that,
Yeah.
and just your son who, like that Stephen A. said, who was on crack.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean,
yeah,
it was
it's terrible.
It was just a low blow at that point. And now, I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, that's the thing. I'm really not surprised. But I mean, now.
I mean, yeah.
After, he was making fun of, and when Trump pulled out the mask, like, or I don't know I think it was at the beginning, but like, how Trump never wears a mask, he just, I got my mask right here. I'm like, get out of here, bro. But
yeah, somebody was like, hey, take this.
Hey, make sure this is in your pocket,
yeah.
dog. But it was like, he was making fun of Biden. He was like,
Biden always wearing a mask.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Biden's got like the biggest mask I've ever seen. I'm like, is that it's like Biden, he can't even draw any crowds. It's like, because he doesn't want to have crowds.
Yeah.
What? But, what
Biden,
goes around.
And Biden's campaign has been mostly like going around to like TV. I didn't really think about it, but he hasn't really been going around to TV shows, doing advertisements on YouTube. Like,
yeah.
His has been really less interactive and more like trying to get to what people are like going to. So like Zoom references, like going on radio shows, all that stuff. Like more adjusting to the times based on what's happening. Whereas Trump is trying to reinforce an older time that is just, and in many different aspects, not just in COVID.
But I mean, hey,
and then when it favors him,
hey, what goes around comes around, man. Hey, he was making fun of Biden with the biggest mask, and then Thursday night. COVID.
His wife got it too. I wonder who found out. I'm sure they're ecstatic.
Man, see, I'm sure
they're like,
and everybody on Twitter,
Twitter
is undefeated. Yeah. It's undefeated. But I mean, and then you have all these people. You guys need to have some sympathy, blah blah blah. It's like, I'm good. I'm like, okay, like I'm not wishing death on anybody. Like that's just like that's just messed up. And then, like, if you're like wishing for somebody's death, okay, that's kind of.
I'm not gonna miss him.
Okay, yeah, that's the thing. I'm not gonna miss him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not over here. Yeah, Trump's got to die. I wish. But I mean, it's like I have no sympathy for somebody that doesn't care after 200,000 people have died.
Yeah,
and him to say, "Oh, well, I mean, it is what it is." Okay, you expect me to have sympathy for you?
Yeah, no.
When you literally have no regard for any human life.
Trump is like I don't know. I think he's just a walking joke to me. Like I can't. It's trying to tear down Obamacare and failing. It's just trying to do all these things to prove that he's some guy in invincible, or just not be able to be penetrated by like society's issues and stuff like that. So it's just very weird when he gets COVID and then doesn't speak on it, and then he's suddenly so quiet all of a sudden.
Wait, where'd you
go?
He tweeted.
Where'd you go, bro? He tweeted right after the freaking debate, or during. What did he tweet during the debate?
Right after something. But it's like he's. But that's the thing. He's part of that older, overweight, generation.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean.
I'm not saying I'm okay. Look,
but I mean,
I would
it
never
would be
wish death
definitely. It would be
upon a
definitely.
person.
I mean, in terms of and that's the thing about it is like my raw reaction from hearing it. I mean, I'm like, well, damn. But literally, I do not care about this man. I was looking at my stocks, because my stocks started going. I walk in the house I just lost $100 because everybody stock or it's based on good news and bad news. So then, the fact that I cared about my stocks and how much money I was making over
the president.
Yeah, that just shows what relationship he has with people that aren't part of his cult.
Yeah,
because
he's not my president.
It's a cult.
It's a cult. No, did you see the video where the white supremacist was we're
going to war?
Yeah, we're going to war.
Yeah, you guys better hold on to this,
Yeah.
because we going to whoa.
And I'm like,
all right.
It's like, I don't give a fuck.
I mean,
what
yeah.
you gonna do? Like it's
I
so
mean, we
stupid.
can get into this a whole other day, but it's definitely a cult.
It's definitely a
Like,
cult.
like I can't even imagine being decked out in like Biden merch.
Yeah.
Having Biden flags and like, I just couldn't imagine myself doing that. But
I think
mean,
Biden is lucky because he has Obama supporters backing him.
Yeah.
Like Obama lovers.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
As close as we can get.
Obama, man.
To the old man is.
What a
Biden.
guy.
What a guy, man. They put so much crap on him, but
what a
stand-up guy.
Just a likable guy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that just goes into like adults. Like, as someone who just turned 18, is like, am I supposed to look forward to?
Like, is this adult? Is this adulthood?
Is this adulthood? Is this And actually, you know what? It's interesting because, I didn't think about it before, but it's kind of the idea that adults are now separated from their kids' selves, or from this like idea of teenage and youth behavior, but they still express those same characteristics, same personality traits that some will call immature. So it's like, okay, well, how do you actually define an adult, right? Like, is an adult based on age? Well, age clearly the leader of the freaking world.
Yeah.
Right? Or not the world, but our world. Like, our world revolves around the United States.
The leader of the free world. Yeah.
My world has never touched anything else. My world has revolved around anything United States wise. The leader of, the politics, the laws, all that stuff, literally is like a child.
A big ass kid.
Like just a big ass.
I mean,
it's
literally just the way that he like deals with like issues, like name calling, and like that's little kid behavior. But I mean, like, I get what you're saying about like what defines it. I mean, because we got balloons here, but like the balloons don't.
Yeah, because if I'm being honest, I don't need a number to just dictate my adulthood.
Yeah, it's weird. Like my barber told me, and it was so weird because it was like especially as a black man, he said like once you turn 18, like life changes.
Yeah,
and it's been a week for you, or 3 days, for you.
For me.
So, but it was so weird because like I turned 18 in January, and then like life changed after, and I'm like that barber wisdom. Yeah, you like
nah,
dog. That's I
don't know.
But it's like it would. I mean, especially as like a young black man, it's like you go from being like this, like an innocent kid, and even in some people's eyes, it's not innocent. Yeah. And I mean, you see like the shooting of like young black men, but it's like, or young black kids at that point. But especially going into a young black man, it's like you're no longer that innocent kid anymore. It's like once you reach that age, it's like the world is on notice, like knows it.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I'd been pulled over before, but like after I turned 18, I got like pulled over after like, especially after like all this stuff started happening. It was like, damn, like this could all like switch.
Yeah, real fast.
And it's like the world, it's that barber wisdom. But it was like, it's like the world knows, and it changes the way that they deal with you.
Yeah.
And whether that's in a legal sense, whether that's in a social sense, like going into a young black man, you go from being innocent to like a threat.
Yeah. And
whether that age or whether you actually turning 18 defines that, it just kind of happens.
Yeah. It's like for me turning 18 was about no more calling me a little kid. Like just no more people not knowing who I am, assuming I'm a certain type of way. Like with 18, there's automatic assumptions. 18, you're in college.
Yeah.
18, you've had some type of experience with some people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You've been around adults. Your adulthood. So when you're that 18, it's like, okay, now your maturity has to be at a certain type of level. So we start talking to you in a different type of way. You get different type of words of wisdom. You get, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different because now you're an adult. So adults are like, well, let me embrace you into adulthood. Whereas when you're a child, it's like, be a child.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna, man, you hear all your parents, man, I wish I was your age. Right? I wish you know what I'm saying? I wish I was a child forever because now, you know, you got responsibilities that you just don't simply have when you're a child. It's like, no, dog, my school's paid for. I don't got to pay rent.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, my maturity isn't defined by the task at hand. My maturity is defined by the way I handle those tasks when they come to me.
Yeah.
So, like, that was so well said. Anyways, like, it's just, as I turned it, like, as, you know, that process was happening, the only thing on my head was just like, I just wanted to do something that makes me feel like an adult. You know what I'm saying? Because I've always felt like, I just want to do something where it's like my parents are like, okay, you know. So I had a conversation, adult conversation with my parents. I let them know. I informed them of me. of
the actions.
The actions I mean, like, I mean, not too much, but whatever came up in conversation, I was honest about because it was no more where I had to hide anything. Like, or I never hid anything before either, but like,
but it's more so coming into your own.
Yeah, it's like,
or not even coming into your own on like your own terms. Because I mean, you could be comfortable with yourself or whatever, but like coming to your own terms in a broad sense.
Yeah, letting them know the truth, because the reality of it is that they can't stop me, so they might as well give me that advice to help me steer clear from whatever trouble they worry I might get into. Because they can't stop me. Like, I've always been like that. I just feel like I can do what I want, right? Yeah. But it's nothing. I'm not a reckless person, but I honestly feel like I can do what I want. If I wanted to do something, I would do it. I could pursue it. And I don't have any bad intentions in anything, so it's going to be something that's either good or something that's going to give me like fun. So it's them giving me the proper advice to like do so. But yeah, I mean, you know, I've been in it for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, oh, you know, you finally turned 18,
finally legal,
all those things, and the love that you get shown when you turn 18 is a little bit different.
Yeah, it's different.
But you know, like, yeah, it was also like waking up on a birthday and like having to work. You know what I'm saying? Like no, like, can I not go to school today?
Yeah,
you know, like,
yeah.
It's responsibility, you know, and I've been feeling it for a while, but it's quite the experience. It's quite the way to grow up, but it also changes the way I handle situations. Like, now I gotta be a little more careful with the recklessness I have.
Oh yeah,
had in the past.
Can't pick up an assault charge.
Yeah,
can't just. Yeah, man, you're not 17
no more.
You can't whoop ass no more, man. Can't whoop ass without consequences sometimes.
I can't. You know, I gotta. I mean, I've been pretty chill the last few years, but no more threats, no more anything that can be misinterpreted and done. Because now it's all a legal basis thing, and it's. I mean, I personally think that our generation is cool, but I feel like the way that our generation, primarily men, the way we handle situations is not the B word, is how do you not use your lingo? Is very immature and very I think scary. Like I'm trying not to use those words, but it's like it's very much like having shoot first, you know what I'm saying, talk later. Like, I feel like that's a very punk way. Punk.
Good
That's
way.
a very punk way. The right P word. The very punk way of handling situations, and I've never been like that either. But like now I'm in a reality where that's the way that people handle things because it's legal. Like, for
I mean, especially right over here, you really don't know. But I mean,
really
it's like I mean, like Nipsey Hussle was saying, like the way that we react to disrespect like has to change. I mean, and that's kind of like ended up killing him, which is like it's surreal.
Yeah, it's trying to be a better person than getting your life taken, or trying to be a better person than getting your life threatened.
You know what I'm saying? Is like different. Like here's the dilemma. Like, will you be a better person, like Nipsey Hussle was, and end up not being here anymore, or end up because it really ends up just being like, if you're gonna be the more virtuous person, sometimes in this world you don't make it.
Yeah.
You don't get to live that virtuous life because it gets taken by somebody that
has nothing to lose.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like it's just that dilemma on how do you want to react? Like,
yeah. I think the most I feel like the most misunderstood person is the one who knows how to handle situations but has something to lose. Like, I feel like when you have something to lose, people don't understand your sympathy. People don't understand your mercy. People don't understand your or just your calmness when you're in situations where you try to de-escalate things instead of, fighting back when you're capable of doing it. It's because running that risk of losing something is far, far, far greater of a fear than, like taking out your anger or something, like, taking out your anger on a person. It's far more important, than taking out your anger on somebody. Like, I feel like the amount of times I've been in situations where it's like, I've been in some life-threatening situations. I've been in some situations in which there was other things that I had to lose in that situation, in that scenario. And it's just choosing what is more important in that moment, right? Like, in a life-threatening situation, choosing what's more important, that I have the possibility of getting my life taken and that, I have so much more left to do in life, or showing that I don't mess with that BS and you're either going to take my life or, like,
is it worth your pride?
Yeah, is it worth my pride?
And I guess just to get back to, like, the crux of this conversation, like, how as young black men we can react.
Yeah.
Is it worth our pride? Like, is it worth getting your pride, getting your ego snatched or getting your pride broken? Like, is it
true when it comes to fighting?
I'm saying, is it worth, like, fighting females, whether you're trying something new and might fail, like, as young black men and just men in general, how can we, because I personally believe that sometimes you have to have your ego, you gotta
give me a humbling moment.
You gotta break your ego has to get broken down sometimes for you to grow as a person,
or challenged.
You guys to be challenged for you to grow. So it's like, I mean, like we were talking last night, with, like, sometimes with women, it's like, if you're not gonna try to challenge yourself, or if you're not being challenged in a relationship, you're not growing.
Yeah.
Whether that's getting your ego challenged, your intellect challenged, whatever, an intellect tied with ego.
Yeah.
It's like, for us at least. Yeah, as men, what is that line to where we're not taking no more shit for our ego versus we got to get our ego, or we have to look within ourselves
and adjust and be better. I think that, like, because we both been in relationships, we both had our thing. It's like once you understand what you enjoy and what you can tolerate and what you can't, you also want to be mindful of what other people can tolerate from you. So, like, you learn more about yourself through that. Because, like, it's just having a woman by your side. Just as women, they're strong. No matter race, generation, or whatever. Women are strong. So it's like they challenge you to. The way they are, kind of challenges you to look at things differently and be different. And so when it comes to, like, having somebody who's, like, in your corner supporting you, but they challenge you in some sort of way that makes you feel uncomfortable or insecure, it's like learning that that's probably their person. But why would you have somebody in your life who doesn't help you grow? Yeah. Right? So it's about recognizing that and not letting that defeat you.
So you have to, or in life, you have to recognize where the challenge is.
Yeah, and who...
And maybe, and sometimes not taking the challenge as disrespect.
Yeah, like, a challenge isn't disrespectful. You've been challenged in school. It doesn't mean you feel like the test disrespected you. You know what I'm saying? That just said it was, hey, that guy was beat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, there's no disrespect there. It's just, it's a different type of character test that you have to go through. And we talk about fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people need to get their ass whipped, right? Like everybody, look, straight up, everybody has that friend who either talked too much crap, maybe in high school, middle school, talked too much crap, got away with it, bully people, got away with it, did all those things and got away with it, and it was because they had their bros with them or whatever. And it's this punk idea that it takes a whole group of people to destroy one human being, right? This idea that an entire basically group of people needs to destroy a single human being is not just a guy to guy fighting thing, but it's just like a real thing in society. This idea that a one-on-one match is no longer fair, And even in one-on-one matches, there are some people who may not challenge because now everybody goes straight to using guns and arsenal. So it's like we've lost that. And so because of that, a lot of people who a good butt whooping can humble you, right? First, if you think you're greater than what you are, somebody will remind you where you really stand.
There's always somebody, like in sports or anything. You might think you're the best.
Sports, like take a to sports outside of fighting. Yeah.
Somebody better.
There's somebody better.
There's somebody faster.
Always.
Somebody stronger. No matter, you just got to get outside that pool.
Yeah, you got to get out of your head. Because if you constantly think, like thinking you're the greatest is great, but do not think you're the greatest knowing that you're not. Like knowing that you have so much more than
knowing that you haven't put yourself in a place to go against the great. Yeah,
so, and everybody will find their match, no matter how great you are. Mm-hmm. The greatest always changes. Right? There's always somebody who's going to top you in whatever you feel like you're greatest in. So it's just, for the guys, for the men, it's just like, don't first, taking somebody's life isn't a way to solve a situation. It gets rid of the problem, but the problem can be solved in so many other ways besides taking a life.
Yeah, I mean, we've, definitely, like you see on like Instagram and stuff, like it's sad. Like you see so much like wasted potential.
Yeah, your friends dying.
Wasted over
stray bullets.
How people handle disrespect.
Yeah, I feel like it's the gun thing. Like I'm not one that's like take away guns so we can prevent it. That's not the reason why. It doesn't matter what you put in somebody's hand. If you give them a purpose, the reason to use it, they'll use it. But it's the reason why people use the thing that we need to change, not what they use. Because for all that, I can mug somebody and slap them upside the head with this mic, right? What you gonna do? Ban mics from my, you know what I'm saying? Like,
not the mic.
It's the intention and this idea that first I can't talk a situation out, right? And if it's gone past talking, that I have to take the person's life. Like I think a classic thing to do for me is to throw hands. Like first, sometimes there's no clear cut winner.
Get the gloves.
You know what I'm saying? There's no clear cut winner. Second, it's I don't know. If we're gonna get to a violent point, I'd rather it be that because there's no way that you can lose your life on sight. I just feel like fighting is better than gunplay. Gunplay is, I've recently I've shot my gun, or shotguns before.
Man went to the shooting range for the birthday.
Oh, yeah, that was one of my birthday things. So it's like when you're in there and you're really thinking about it, it's like this weapon is powerful, loud, strong. You're using this against another human being that you were once cool with, or just like said something about you on Instagram, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think that's what calls for that. You know what I'm saying? You're not defending your life. They haven't threatened your life. I think it's a punk made idea.
But it's about ego.
Yeah.
At the end of it's about ego.
How do you get you like?
So it's like if I take this person's life, then my ego can't be challenged.
Yeah.
I mean, as sad as it is, it can't be challenged.
Yeah, you got rid of the problem and every other problem they may have caused.
Yeah, but I mean, it's so
I guess of a human life, I guess.
So I guess how can we get as men, as young black men, how can we get to a place where it's okay to get our ego challenged? And I don't know if we can get to that place, but I guess my question is, how can we get to that place where, I mean, the disrespect or anything could be solved in a way that doesn't, it might result in loss of ego, but it won't result in loss of life.
Yeah. So, and I think the answer to that truly is just to teach people to find a better way. Like, a gun is a scared man's tool when it comes at a certain point. A weapon or the resort to violence is often a fear tactic, right? Like if you're scared that something's of a threat, you're gonna defend yourself, right? But sometimes not everything's confrontational, or not everything has to be violently confronted. It could be simply where it's just like, I misunderstood you. Let's talk about it, and then from there on, we move and grow as better people. And I feel like once you get to that point where you're able to do that, now. Realistically, it's not to go against all of the points we've made about how we should be less violent and how we shouldn't use like arsenals or revert to something that's less life-threatening. Not to go against all of that. Now, there are some people who are past talking, right? We're not saying everybody should be talking, blah blah blah. But what we're saying is that we don't think that it should resort into someone losing their life by the hands of a weapon at a distance, right? By the hands of something like that is just other than fighting. Like, let's go back to just where you classically threw hands, you know what I'm saying? And every day wasn't like a day you could lose your freaking life, you know what I'm saying? I think that, and that goes back to, and even back to the debate, it just goes back to respecting your opponent. Like, even like when I was in martial arts, the purpose is to win. I'm supposed to whoop your ass.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you watch but you watch like, especially in the martial arts, like jujitsu and stuff. Yeah. Like, they're really whooping.
Yeah, I was like Hajubinku, karate, and taekwondo.
Yeah, they're really whooping each other. But at the end, hug it out. All good. Like,
all good. Like, let me bow, let me respect you and stuff like that. Walk it off or whatever. And then the thing that I come back with is a rematch. It's not a gun. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a life-threatening situation. It's simply like, I simply just want to prove to you that, you know, if we throwing hands in some situations, that my point is correct. I'm gonna throw my hands to do so, you know. And we can talk about the physical connection between fighting and stuff like that. But I think what's most important, especially as young men in LA, with the way that people have been handling situations and how many lives have been lost due to guns and gang violence and stuff like that, it's like, let's resort to something different. You know what I'm saying? Let's resort to something that isn't almost a guaranteed life-threatening situation.
Yeah, but I like how that's tied. I mean, like tied into the debate and just it's okay to take some L's.
Yeah, or it's okay to just
listen. It's okay to listen. It's okay to be in the wrong.
Put your ego on.
But I mean, it's. I think it's a mixture of a lot of. I think it's primarily like social media stuff. I think like it's become so normalized to where, oh no, I can't be caught lacking. Like, I can't, like, you. So then it's like when it happens, it's like,
yeah,
what? Like, this can't be right.
Yeah.
So then it just comes down to normalizing it. So I guess, you know,
yeah.
All black men, squash y'all beefs.
Squash y'all beefs, and like, and
2020, if some good could come out of 2020,
yes,
squash your beefs.
Squash your beef, and I feel like as anybody who's been on the side of like changing and progressive and equality, and who isn't a supremacist, whether it's any, we always talk about the black and white, you know that fight, but like really in America, if you're any supremacist that just thinks that you're better than the rest, how about we learn how to let that go, and start learning how to be adults, like be civilized. I feel like part of the big thing for me that was adulthood, like based, was respect, like mutual respect for another person, right? Another person living their life, going through the same struggles you go through, you know what I'm saying? Whether you're younger or older, you should understand how it is just growing up, like as a human in society, right? Whether you have privilege or not, everybody has faced some sense of struggle. Whereas for a privileged person, it may be the fact that they lost 100 bands, right? You know what I'm saying? Even though my thing would be I lost my penny, right? But people have a different mindset, depending on the situations they're in. So like, just respect another human's struggle, and then that way we're more compassionate to things, and we're less likely to resort to violence, and then way less likely to start resorting to this new trend where you have to take a life to prove a point, right? Where you have to disrespect another man's life to prove a point, another man's struggle, to use a family struggle against another man to defeat him just trying to become a leader in the world.
It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's just not worth it. And that's why I always tried to stay out of the drama, stay out of, and even when it does get there, it doesn't matter at that point.
It took a long time for people not to see me as violent or as like an asshole. Like, it took a long time to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you could label me as that, you know, middle school, I can understand that. But in high school, I don't feel like particularly I was around more mature people. So I was more, you know, compassionate, more, you know, more caring, I guess, of the people around me, and uplifting. And I was starting to become this intellectual and stuff like that. So it's like we have to learn how to see people for what they are now instead of what they were before. Like, for Trump, he's pretty much shown us he's the same person as he is now than he was before.
It's all about growth.
Yeah,
and,
but for Biden, everybody says all this stuff before, but you say all these racist things, but he did also was vice president to which we call Obama for 2 terms.
Yeah.
Right. Has actually had plans with his, the county he's trying to get in to actually do some things for inner city communities. And I think the one thing he needs to do is acknowledge his past.
Yeah, because that's part of it. Trump
refuses to acknowledge his
as many times as we're going to talk about egos today, you have to go back. Sometimes you have to go back on your ego to grow. Yeah. And that's for anybody out there. You have to look at your ego sometimes. You got to check your ego.
And it's beyond adulthood.
It's better to get it's not even about it's sometimes it's better to check your own ego before somebody else checks it for you.
No cap.
That's because
I'm an ego checker.
Yeah, if you're in that constant state of growth, looking back, growing, then you won't get caught. You won't get caught lacking.
Well, you see us being nice, but me and Chris have had our moments where somebody just needed their little ego checked. No cap. So it's just knowing when that you don't want to come across. For us, we simply can do it with our words, and if it got like that, it got like that. But for for those who ain't about that easy action, it's learn how to first be connected within yourself and learn how to recognize when there is a space where you can just solve something simply with your words or just with understanding. Words can be hurtful, right? Sticks and stones may break and bows, but words never hurt me. That shit died out when you were 4. You know what I'm saying?
Words hurts.
Yeah,
words hurts.
The first time somebody called you ugly, you was like sticks and stones. You know what I'm saying? So it's words do penetrate, and it's just learning to be more compassionate and respectful, right? That's a part of maturity. And as a new coming adult, that is something I want to continue to work on. Is finding ways to be less of the aggressor and more of the compassionate idealist.
You gotta pick the spots where it's worth it.
Yeah,
like you can't just be
or understand when it's just simply like when another person simply just is too far from that point.
Yeah, you just gotta realize, especially when you're 18, consequences are real now.
Really
so it's like you gotta pick your spots when it's worth maybe going on, because sometimes it's worth it.
It's worth it,
but most times it's not, and that's what too many people don't realize. Like, I mean, I don't think I told you this story, but like the last sort of like confrontation I had, it was like me, my 2 homies, Jalen and Dominic. We were spend the day at the beach, chilling, whatever. Had a good day. Went over and we're in like Manhattan Beach, so this is like white. So we just walking through, get to our car, we're like, oh, we're gonna go get some pizza or whatever. And we're walking and you see the bird scooters. Yeah. I'm like, oh, sweet. Let's just, we're feeling good that day. I'll spend that whatever money it is. And then we're about to get on the scooters and it's not a bird. So we gotta like download this other app or whatever. And it's just chilling there. And we're just like standing there and it wasn't going. So we're like, okay, like let's just buy it. And then this dude comes out. Hey, get out! Leave! Get out! I'm like, huh?
That's strange.
And we're just like, and it's this dude and his son. And the son's like probably like 7 or something like that. And we're like, who the fuck is he talking to? Who was he talking to? But then we didn't realize it was like his personal scooter.
Oh.
But it made no sense because I don't know. Regardless, it's getting like super tense because then he's no, y'all gotta leave, and and that's at that point I was like, leave what? What you talking about? Yeah, like, I'm good right here. What you talking about? And then I could already tell me and my friend Dominic, Jalen, it was like it could have gone there. Yeah, and then and this lady came. But I was happy. This one white lady came out. Why are you like pressuring that? What are you doing? And then, but she left after that. I was like, oh, thanks for the help, I guess. But so then it took until I said like we thought it was a bird, and then he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like I was like, like this could have gotten big because I mean this is after a whole bunch of like white supremacist stuff. So we thinking it's like racist. I mean, only 3 black dudes out here, and you telling us to leave.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't belong. Leave. I'm like.
No,
don't make.
No.
You got 1, 2, 3. You and your little 7-year-old son. Don't make your son have to see. Don't make him have to see his dad get. I wouldn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
I don't want to see my dad get his shit pushed in. I don't want to see that.
Did you remember how pussy you see your dad get knocked out by somebody else?
I don't want to see that. I don't want to put that kid through that. But it was like, and that's the like, for me, it took us having to like partially like get our egos check our egos at the door, because knowing where it could have gone. I mean, knowing Manhattan Beach, I might not be sitting here right now.
Yeah.
It's like those things might it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I was like, hey man, we spent our day at the beach, 3 homies chilling, forcing people to go off to college, and it's like, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Told them we thought it was a bird dog, like my bad, and then man. I just want to give you guys a hug, man. I'm like, okay. Like,
still coronavirus, though.
Like, all right, man. I was like, but then, like, you just don't know. You don't know where people are coming from.
Yeah.
Because then he started telling his whole life story. Like, it's like, I'm from New York, and like, people. I mean, in New York, people will snatch they'll snatch your stuff. But like, he's like, I'm from New York, and I just didn't. That's just what I was used to, and it's like that communication is key.
Yeah,
it's key from ending up getting
embarrassed in front of your son.
And that's just what it is at the end of the day. From how us men, and I don't want to just keep saying men, but like how people.
Yeah.
But we're talking about men because that's kind of the bigger issue. But like how you need to really think before reacting.
Yeah. And
really weigh out, is it worth my time? Because sometimes, today I got time. Sometimes you got time, but
it's like,
I got time today.
For this one. But I've been in those situations a lot.
That's just what it is. You have to pick, you got to pick your battles. And I'll tell you, 95% of them, it's really not worth it. It's really not worth losing your energy over. It's really not worth the consequences. And then that's really part of being an adult.
Yeah.
Or being a so-called adult. Because some of these adults don't do the same
adults,
thing.
Yeah.
Like in the debate or like in anything. It's like
some situations. It's like, I think my
like
biggest...
It's that karma.
Yeah.
Sometimes that karma coming right back for you.
It's that the energy you put out is the energy you attract. So if you become a non-confrontational person, right? You attract non-confrontational people. Yeah. If you become a person that's like, I got time every day, all day, 24/7, then somebody's gonna be like, I got time too. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna be like, I got time too, and then you come into a situation in which, you're now you're at that place where you have to decide whether you're gonna argue, throw hands, or escalate it to a point where somebody needs to lose their life. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you said is probably the biggest takeaway. Is that the energy you put out is the energy that you attract? Yeah. So anything. It starts with you.
Yeah.
It's changing that energy.
It's your fault. Like, as much as we don't like to, sometimes there are people who be on that stuff, and sometimes they take it to places it doesn't have to be.
But sometimes it's you're a product of your environment. Yeah. But that's the thing. You're a product of your environment. Yeah. Sometimes you create your environment.
Exactly.
Sometimes I will say sometimes you can't help it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's kind of what you.
We're not speaking from privilege of anything. Like, understand that we have our struggles, and we come from those. We've been around those environments, and it's and I'm raised in one of those environments. So it's like it's not we're telling you change who you are or nothing like that, but it's be aware of who you are. Yeah. And how you act in the moment, and are you really fine with the result, or with risking whatever it is that you have, like the energy. So 2 takeaways really: the energy you put out is the energy you receive, but also is that energy that you put out worth, you know what I'm saying, like
worth what comes back.
Like is it are you so in tune with yourself that you are able to recognize in which you're wrong, in which you're at fault, and able to de-escalate situations.
Yeah, and the biggest thing I'll always be at a position is when you know better, you do better.
Yeah,
I'll always be at that position. So you have to, as like cutthroat as it sounds, sometimes you just have to know better.
Yeah,
to do better. I mean, yeah,
man.
But hey, I know we skipped over, but all my Lakers fans out there,
hey, bro,
it's coming home. It's coming home.
Hey, look.
They know what's happening.
I want to say it on the podcast, okay? I am cheering for LA, right? I'm cheering for LA. So if LA follows by Lakers, I guess.
You know, I just couldn't skip. We can't skip over that.
LA,
by the next time we have our podcast, we should have the 17th championship.
For me, it will be the first LA championship that I've witnessed and watched. So that's enough for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Bron getting that 4th ring.
Yeah. Hey, bro, I'm a Bron fan. You know what I'm saying? That boy really has been in 3 teams and brought rings to each and one of those teams.
I mean, with 10 of the last 11 years, he's been in the finals. Yeah. No, he's been in the finals.
Oh, in the finals?
And the only time was last year when he got injured.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was somebody that has, it was like a chart. It was like, are you in the same conference, or will you make the NBA finals? Are you in the same conference as LeBron? Yes? Maybe. Or no. Are you in the same conference as LeBron? Maybe. Are you on the same team as LeBron? No. Okay. You're not making the finals.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. But this has been a great episode.
Episode 8, we're getting on the grind.
Of course.
We'll definitely try to get some more guests, so...
Oh, yeah, continue to like, follow, subscribe. You can do that. Continue to like, follow, subscribe.
Yeah, we definitely want to... Spotify. Yeah, we want more guests on the show. Last episode, one of our best, and it's because we had people there.
One of the best episodes. Check out New Knowledge. What was it called?
Shout out episode 7. Proud Black Queens.
Of course.
But it's made by you guys.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you've heard us talk.
You've heard us.
But it's bringing in that new knowledge that really gets us to that place. So, yeah. Oh, man. 18 right here. I just want to... One last thing. Y'all are 18. Go out and vote. Please.
Please vote.
Just vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for.
We never tell you who to vote for Biden.
But just... but vote. Yeah. We'll just leave it off at that. Just vote.
You know what I'm saying? This is episode 8, and you have listened to the New Knowledge Podcast. Yes, sir. You know what it is.